He's Jeremy Roenick, NHL and NBC, joining us here on the Dan Patrick Show. Jeremy, I'm not all that familiar with your history with some of these Danettes here, but Seton, before you came on, Seton was talking a lot of smack. He said that, and I'm paraphrasing here, Seton, you can feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, he said that, maybe you were a little timid about coming back into the studio.
Yeah, see, we do have a lot of history, and they're lucky I like them so much, without question. But see, they're talking smack now because I was supposed to be in studio. But since Dan was called in sick and he didn't want me to come in, he didn't want to miss me, so he said just do a phoner. So now the boys are they're pumping their tires and pounding their chest when I'm not in there. But trust me, I'm not too far away, boys. Just be careful. I'll be there soon.
Dan did leave us with a question. He wanted to know if you could take all 4 Danettes at once, simultaneously.
I know I give a few of them a beating, but I think some of them are a little sneaky. Like, Satan's a little sneaky on me. I think he'd find a way to stay out of the melee, and right when he saw the right time, he'd give me a swift kick in the nuts, and I'd be done. I just think he's a cheap shot like that. I think he'd get me.
It's almost like we fought before. It's amazing.
You obviously, Jeremy, haven't seen Seton's battle with Jay Glazer. If you think that if you think he's got anything, take a look at that YouTube clip.
It's okay, Seton. It's okay. I'll give it a shot next time I'm in studio, though.
He's Jeremy Roenick, NBC, NBSN hockey analyst, joining us here on the Dan Patrick Show. Do you have a problem with the NHL's overtime format right now? And when I ask this question, I'm just, sometimes I watch these NHL games and, I see 2-3 overtimes, and I wonder if there needs to be any type of changes to make some of these overtimes more competitive. What are your thoughts on that?
No, I'm absolutely 100% against changing anything, because what really separates the playoffs from the regular season is that ability for these teams to have the endurance to play sometimes 2 games, like we almost saw with Chicago, St. Louis. Some people might lose interest, and some people might get tired and go to sleep. But the real enthusiasts, the guys, people like myself, and the really hockey fanatics, you can't get enough of it, because this playoff action and the intensity and the level of play that these guys are playing at is spectacular. I mean, it's mind blowing. So I could watch it all night. I wish every game would go into almost in overtime. That's how much I'm enjoying these games.
What about after the first overtime, you start taking a player off the ice for subsequent overtimes?
You know what? I just like, you're going to win a Stanley Cup. You're going to win a Stanley Cup, the old traditional way, and that's battling it out and having it 5-on-5 and winning it the old-fashioned way, and that's just mano a mano. And to me, that's 5-on-5 and going at it till that goal goes in. So. Like I said, I'm a traditionalist in that aspect. I would really be disappointed if it went to 4-on-4 or 3-on-3. I can understand why they would do it, but I wouldn't be in favor of it.
Do coaches coach differently in overtimes?
I think in playoffs, I think they definitely coach a little bit different in overtime. I think there's got to be a sense of urgency for one thing, but still you have to be prepared to play that real strong defensive style. And when you've gone through 60 minutes already, you really have to make sure you work your bench properly and you play your lines properly, because it's such a grueling game, and there's so much effort being put out that the guys get tired, and you got to really watch your bench and see who's fresh and see who's going. It takes a lot of concentration behind the bench. Your
finals prediction before the postseason was what?
I had Anaheim and Boston going to the finals. I think I might change that a little bit with the way that San Jose has been playing. I think San Jose is as good as I've ever seen them. I think they are more playoff bound, tested, and ready to take on all challenges, and they battle for each other, and they're tougher. You see guys like Mikey Brown taking out Jonathan Quick twice in this series, to try to get him all flustered. Rafi Torres having such an impact. And the young kids like Nieto and Hurdle, who are the young guys that bring so much enthusiasm and take a lot of pressure off of the scoring from Marlowe and Thornton and Pavelski and Couture. This is a team that I can't believe they're doing to the Kings what they are.
What's the biggest surprise for you right now in the playoffs?
I don't think it's a surprise. I think if there is a surprise, I think Dallas is a little bit of a surprise to me. I know they go through spurts. They have a very hard-working, fast team, But like I said, I told you I thought Anaheim would make it to the finals, so I thought they'd breeze through this first round. The way that they've gone at their stars, the way that Roussel has played, the way that Trevor Daley's played, and then the two studs with Sagan and Ben, they are giving Anaheim all they can handle, and I think they have them right where they want them. They have injured players now, top guys that are flustered, that are fighting. They have a Hall of Famer that's sitting in the stands. I think Dallas is probably the surprise to me. I knew Columbus would be a tough out for Pittsburgh because they're such hard workers, and Pittsburgh struggles with the really hard-working teams. That one's going to come down. That's going to be interesting, too. I still think Pittsburgh pulls it out, though.
Blackhawks defending champs. Are they going to get by St. Louis?
This is the most evenly matched series of the first round, and it's the one I was looking forward to the most because I was in five series against St. Louis back in the late 90s, and I remember, or early 90s, and I remember how difficult it was, how painful those series are, the hatred that is between St. Louis and Chicago. So I knew that this was going to be a phenomenal series, being that I think these two are two of the top three best teams in the National Hockey League. And she's 3 overtimes in 4 games so far. This is living up to the billing. I still think that Chicago is really attested and has really been able to overcome a lot of obstacles, especially like last year. They were down 3-1 Detroit. They came back, won that series, ended up winning the Cup. I think Chicago knows how to get it done and probably will do it in 7.
Good to talk to you, Jeremy. And before I let you go, Seton, do you have anything you'd like to add before Jeremy steps off the phone?
I'm right up here, dude. You know where to find me.
Oh, I love it. I love you guys. I love the smack talk. It won't be long. It will not be long.
Safe travels, Jeremy. Thank you.
All right, boys. Have a good one.
That's Jeremy Roenick, NHL and NBC.